Hello, farmers, and welcome back to New Hope. It is November. We got some corn to harvest to start off the stream today, so we're beginning to that. But before we do, if you haven't noticed, upper right-hand corner, we're pretty much at negative 60,000 in the bank account, and I don't have a corn header, so we got a little work to do before we get to some harvesting. Hello, Crystal and John. Hopefully, everyone's having a good Saturday so far. And, yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good day here at New Hope. So, money-wise, what are we going to do? We got tons of lettuce to sell. After we finish selling the lettuce, we should be probably over 100 grand in the bank account, I would hope. Somewhere in there. I say I would hope on the map, New Hope. I think I got to feed the horses as well. I think the horses need some oats as well. And after we get done with the corn harvest, I'm not sure if I want to cut some more meadow grass and make some silage bales. I may do so. The meadow grass is kind of brownish, so I'm not sure if the yield's going to be down or not, but it's meadow grass, so I may just go ahead and just cut it anyways, just to get, well, we usually get about $20,000 to $25,000 worth of silage off of this little section here, so we may do that. Hello, Panther Killer. Welcome. Hope you have a good Saturday. Oh, yeah, so first things first, I need to go ahead and get some money in the bank account so we can get to some corn harvesting. So let's fire up the old Deutz and we'll get ourselves our articulated flatbed trailer over here and start loading up some lettuce. And we'll go on down and sell it all. Probably going to take me a couple of trips, even though this does hold a lot of pallets. We got a lot of lettuce. And I probably should make sure that the greenhouses are good to go after we get done with the corn harvest, because we're going to be skipping through the winter months pretty darn quick. We'll also keep our eye on our oak trees, but I don't think we'll be getting to oak trees today, just because I think they're going to need like another year and a few months before they're fully mature. And I think I decided also on purchasing the sawmill that is on the map for 150,000, I think it is. Just because of the spawn area, it's already on the map. And yeah, I think that's the best approach to take here. Alright, so there's one of the three greenhouses. I think we got all the lettuce out of that one. That tree came out of nowhere. Let's scooch around like this. See what we get. Yeah, I'm going to need 2 trips either way, so we'll just grab what we can. Yep, that should be fine. All right, let's go ahead and sell this. This should get us above 0, one would hope. So I don't have a little farmer's market or the little market, anything that earns us an extra 20% selling to that sell point. Trying to avoid that on this map. It's nice to have, but I'm trying to earn money at a slower pace on this series. We do have our environmental score bonus, which is like 14% or maybe even 15% at this point. Let's go ahead and get in cab and we'll drive on down. I do need some fuel as well sometime sooner than later. Getting down to about 1/3 of a tank of fuel. Oh yeah, the combine might need some fuel as well. Yeah, I kind of remember now the combine might be low. I wonder if I gotta bring the combine down to the store anyways when I lease the corn header in order for me to get the corn header back to the farm. The combine's about the only thing that's going to be able to bring it on back. Hello, Raxamilius. Hope you've been well. Thank you for joining us. Haven't been on a while. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing not too bad. I'll do a little bit better here once my money gets from negative 60,000 to, like I said, we should be somewhere around 100 grand after we sell all of the lettuce. There are people walking around the farmer's market already waiting for their lettuce to arrive. Yep, everything got sold, and now we're up to $47,000 in the bank account, which is nice to see, but we got more lettuce to grab. Yeah, so I'm trying to think, we are going to have some cash on us, what I want to do with that cash for this upcoming farming season. Again, don't need the sawmill as of yet. That is going to cost us a pretty penny, $150,000 for it. But no sense of buying it in a year where I don't need it. It'd be nice to actually own it and have it, off the checklist. But I think maybe we'll look at maybe some farmland so I can get some more crop into the ground. Also, through the winter, we will be selling the poppy that we harvested last time. That's going to bring us in like $100 grand. We're also going to have some dry corn to sell. And also we got the rye to sell as well. So we're going to have some money coming in. Money's going to be going out at the same time because we got the enhanced loan system. So we're paying like $20,000 a night to repay the loan. And we got a long ways to go on that. But without that loan, we wouldn't have what we have. And that's horses. We'll also keep our eye on the horses because their value is actually getting up there. I think they're worth over $12,000, $13,000 now, something like that, which is not too bad. All right, load up the lettuce. I was like hearing the foghorn from the ships. Is there actually on the border? Is there actually in like any water anywhere? No, not really. Must be in the far off distances where the ship is blowing its foghorn. All right, should be able to get the rest of the lettuce on the trailer. If not, we'll force it on here one way or another. Alright, back on down to the store. Bank account's going to look really nice for a little while. Hello, Sirwell. Welcome. Any big goals on this map? No, we're just kind of running a horse farm, but taking care of the horses is rather simple. I figured on this series here, the one thing I really haven't gotten into are the horses. I tried it in FS22 without much success on making money on them. But the funny thing is about this series, when I got it set up, the first day I was going to stream, a mod came out that made the horses worth a little bit more, so we might actually make a slight profit with the horses. I don't think I'll ever get my money back on the money I invested into the horses for the stable and all that, but it's a fun thing to do, get something different, do something different in the game that I haven't done yet since Solyndra and FS22. Hello, Farmer G, welcome as well. There we go. $140,000 now in the bank account. So we started just a few minutes ago at negative 60. We're now up to 146. Well, with the mod for the horses to make them worth more, it's not too bad. So I think the base game, the max value you could get on a horse is like $5 grand. I think our horses currently are worth like 12, 13,000. It's not like FS19 numbers where I think horses were worth. I want to say horses weren't worth 50,000 a piece back in FS19, were they? I don't know why I got 50,000 on my mind, but it seems like that's what they were worth. No, you can't open the sunroof on the tractor. There are probably some modded tractors out there where you can open up doors and like the back windows on some tractors, on modded ones. I don't think I've ever seen a tractor, even a modded one, where the sunroof opens, but I'm pretty sure there's one out there somewhere. So that's a good way to start the stream, just bring in like 200 grand. But we kind of knew, I did the last stream I did on Tuesday, maybe it was, that we had a lot of money sitting around in lettuce. Alright, so now I need the combine, which is, oh, I left it over here in the poppy field. And yes, it needs some fuel. So what I do need for the day is gotta go down to headers, and we're gonna get this one right here, 12 meter wide. I will help us out by at least looking like our combine. So we'll just go with the John Deere green there. We are leasing it for, man, 6,000. Kind of stings, but yep. That's the route we're going. Let me just go ahead and get the header all set for transport. Fold up the combine for a little bit. We'll bring the header back. Go down, get the corn header, get fuel. Probably should get fuel first. Now, last time I used this, we harvested our poppy field. And if you're wondering what poppy looks like, the thumbnail, I did take a picture of the poppy when it was in bloom. Not when it was ready for harvest, but the thumbnail for the stream shows what the poppy looks like when it's in bloom. A nice sea of red. Past the gas station. Well, the Deutz is fine for a little bit. I'll be making more trips down there with the Deutz. Horse has got some manure piling up, but as we have seen, buying manure at the buy station over there is so cheap. Not too concerned about getting the manure from the horses where it needs to be. And yeah, someday we'll have a better parking spot for our header. Found a hidden road in Iowa that leads to a Star Trek Easter egg. Didn't someone mention... No, they were mentioning a character from MASH on the stream for Iowa. The thing I want to find in the Iowa DLC for ATS is Field of Dreams, the baseball field. I gotta find that. Little trip on down to the fuel station, then to the store, get the corn header. We'll harvest the corn, feed the horses, top off the greenhouses, and then we can move on to late December, early January, start selling some of this stuff. Again, I think buying more land might be ideal. Land on here is not that expensive, so we should be able to afford something. Just trying to double think again. Do I need anything on the farm immediately? Not immediately. I don't have any type of drill, either be a direct, a drill or a planter. I don't have either one on the farm. And at some point, a corn header would be nice. But those are things that we can lease. I think getting to more land for this upcoming year might be a good idea. Field of Dreams is one of the viewpoints. Even after all that I went through on Thursday on streaming ATS, I think we did pretty well getting 5 of the 12 cities done. I don't think I'll be getting an ATS video out for tomorrow. I got to get a car dealer simulator out. And I also got to get Shamburgo, those episodes recorded for next week. In the next day or so. Next week is going to be a busy week for me, so I'm not sure if I'll get an ATS video recorded or not. This is why I like having my own fuel station on the farm, just because the base game fuel pumps are kind of slow. I could have fueled up at Omatana's hut, and it would have been really quick. Maybe even a little bit cheaper. Wait, what am I stuck on here? Alright, let's grab the corn header. Hopefully I can get behind the corn header. The spawn point here at the store, not the best where it spawns, because you got to get combine behind it. I mean, I could just, use super strength or something, but I guess we'll just push it along. Alright, we got ourselves full of fuel. We got ourselves our corn header. Let's chop up some corn. Get that into the corn dryer. Not sure I know where I want to expand. We'll have to look at, once we sell the crops here in the middle of winter, and how much money we got left. Going to have a look and see what the price of some land around here. And also trying to keep in mind, I need to keep some money so I can lease some stuff. Of course, the greenhouses will keep on making lettuce. We'll probably sell lettuce again in February. Do love the looks of this map. think if I remember correctly, this is the first map that they created, and they did a nice job of, you know, it's not just a complete flat map, which is nothing wrong with flat maps, but I like a little bit of hills and uneven terrain here and there. But this is like my kind of map where it's kind of like create your own farm and kind of like your own scenario if you wanted to. So this field here doesn't yield the best. It's mostly silty clay, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's the only thing when you are playing on a map like this for precision farming, with no fields, because you haven't plowed a field in yet, it's kind of hard to see what type of soil is in the area. You don't know until you plow a field and then take a soil sample, then you realize it's like, oh, soil here sucks. So, well, we get what we get. And yes, you are seeing it correctly. We are almost 11 o'clock in the morning, and it is kind of gloomy out. It is a cloudy day, but on New Hope, the sun does rise and set. It rises kind of late, sets kind of early in the winter months, earlier than the base game, so just keep that in mind. It does seem to be a little bit gloomy when the winter months come. I don't know where the map is supposed to be based out of. I know it's a fictional map, but I would say it's probably pretty, you know, a little bit closer to the North Pole than anything. For how gloomy it is. It's not extremely close because it'll be frozen all the time. If you're new to the series, everything that we have on the farm, other than currently the corn header, we do own. We bought everything new. The only thing that's used is this combine that we're in. And that was kind of a surprise buy because on day one, this came up for sale. I think it was like 60% off for the 9X John Deere Combine. It was a deal that was hard to pass up. We did take out a $3 million loan on day one because, well, we didn't have anything, so we had to buy stuff. And currently, this is what $3 million has gotten us to. We're in year number 3. Yeah, kind of the scenario here in this map is the horse barn, the horse stable. Just trying it out. They don't eat a whole lot, that's for darn sure. Oh yeah, the one thing I haven't done yet, because I'm trying to maximize our profit on the horses, I kind of forgot to get like a cheap horse stable because the horse stable we currently have is full. So when they do have offspring, they have nowhere to go. So I was going to put down like a very cheap stable and kind of like transport horses over so they can have their offspring and then put the offspring back into the main stable. But we're still a ways off before they have offspring. At least I think. I don't think they're... The first set of horses we bought 8 originally. And then we went maybe about a year before we bought another 8 horses to get a full stable. So I don't think they're going to have offspring today. Although we will be skipping through the winter months rather quickly. Oh yeah, this field will need to be plowed because it's corn. They could double the price of the horses in base game and people still wouldn't do them, especially for how much they are running them and things. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of... I got the horse helpers, so the horse helper is riding them and cleaning them. And I also got the mod that increases the value of the horses, so... I think some people will probably get into doing the horses, but only if they want to play the game, but they want to do something different. There are so many ways to make money in Farm Sim. I don't mind if I break even or maybe lose a little bit of money on the horses. There's so many ways to earn your cash. Alright, 16.2 is what it holds. Alright, so now we'll just grab our... Oh, teleported right to it. Our Ford tractor, which is still hooked up to the baler. Where did I leave my grain trailer? Must be at the silo after I dropped off the poppy seed. So again, the plan here on New Hope in the long run, eventually over here on this side where the silo is, this side over here is going to be the farmyard, the shed that we just left. I put down that shed because it's a big shed for the price it was, good value. It allowed me to park everything in there. Mainly I needed it just to store the bales in. But over here is where the farmyard eventually will be. Some of the stuff will probably get moved around. I say some of the stuff, I mean my little hobo hut, the seed shack, the corn dryer, stuff like that will probably get moved. We are going to have a sawmill. There's a sawmill on the map. We are going to grow oak trees, cut them down. And we're going to build a lot of farmhouses around the map, kind of make like a community. And then we're going to give the post office mod a go. Just for fun, we'll deliver the mail and earn some money by delivering some mail. But yeah, we're gonna put down constructible houses. So we got to make all the planks, the beams, even the cement factory. I think we'll probably get into. Start building some housing around here, and I might actually look into. I did mention it before. I may look into the Omatana Hotel. But I'll probably modify how much money it earns, because the money looked rather ridiculous. We'll have to test it out to see actually how much money it does earn per month. I don't want to be earning $50,000 a month from a hotel. That's too much, in my opinion, for what I'm trying to do here. Post a picture in Discord of the Star Trek Easter egg. I'll have a look after the stream because I am kind of curious. pH value is bad. Nitrogen's bad. Everything's going to be bad. This field needs an overhaul. I don't think I have a lime spreader. I think I leased it. So this would be, yeah, this would be perfect in a way because with the money that we're going to have after winter, and if I buy more land and create a field, well, the field I create can need lime, so be a good time if I don't own one to at least lease one. And put lime in all the fields. fun concept I got going on here. Well, I hope it's fun. Just going back a little bit to what I did on No Man's Land in FS22, where I was putting down houses and such. We'll see where it takes us. I'm also interested because about a couple weeks ago, Omatana also came out. I want to say she was the first, but I'm not too sure on this, where she created a constructible farmhouse. It's nothing more than like our little hobo hut, but it's a constructible one. So I may even put down some of those as well. But I gotta wait until the farm's a little bit more financially stable. We're keeping our head above water is all we're basically doing at this point. Again, I'm just trying to earn money at a reasonable rate. I don't want to be putting down all these modded stuff, which I'm doing a little bit here just to keep our head above water. But, I mean, I could put down a whole bunch more greenhouses, make a whole bunch of lettuce. We could have millions of dollars in a matter of no time. But then, yeah, we're you know, I want to struggle a little bit financially, which sounds kind of weird. In real life, who wants to do that? But in the game, once I get a lot of money on the farm, the fun kind of fizzles out for me. Would be kind of interesting to see if they would come up with a constructible production building. So, I mean, Giants did think about, for FS25, for production buildings, you know, instead of buying like a sawmill for like $300,000 or $150,000, they gave us those miniature ones to put down. But it would be kind of interesting, like, if you could put a footprint down for like the largest sawmill, for like the one that costs like $300,000. Say if you put down the footprint for like I don't know, maybe like 10,000, and then you have to bring the material to it to build it up. Now, it'd be kind of rough when you're trying to build a sawmill and you need wood material, but you have to go and buy it and get it installed. Now, once greenhouses are, well, any mod that gives you more cash, well, everyone's going to look at it differently. What is OP and what isn't. It's like right now I got 3 greenhouses making lettuce. Eventually, once the farm starts making more than enough cash, I'll probably get rid of 1 greenhouse at a time. But this going through the winter should be pretty good. The poppy that we harvested last stream, along with the rye wasn't bad either. Those 2 crops, which are monocrops on this map, they're going to earn us some decent cash. So I want to plant poppy again. One, because it does look different. And it actually looked kind of nice when it was in bloom. And the rye kind of reminded me a little bit like sorghum, the way it harvests and the price and all that. Might as well unload the combine if I get down to the end of the row. You did lavender as well, but not worth it. If it's like the same as it was in FS22, yeah, you only get one cut of it per year, and it yields the same as grasswood. So I did that on Goldcrest Valley. If it's the same as it was in Goldcrest Valley, yeah, it's not worth it. Unless you want to do some grass work, but also kind of restrict yourself and only have to do it once a year. I try to avoid grass work on most of my series. Of course, you're going to need it sometimes. Actually, I'll probably be doing it later on tonight when I get back onto the Shamburgo series. So I gotta see how my sheep and goats are gonna be doing on that series with after planting the grass in. Mustard I did on Penye. And mustard, to me, other than the name of it, is the same as canola. Lavender is only 50 for 1,000. That seems rather... Even on hard economy, it's worth 75 raw. Can you not make silage out of it? Is that a thing in FS25 yet? Probably not in this map because you need a special BGA for that. Lavender was worth it on Bucks County map in FS22. I mean, it's okay if you make silage out of it, I think. Can't remember what I did with it on Goldcrest Valley. I had a very small field of lavender. I mean, a very small field of lavender on Goldcrest. So all this corn we are going to throw into the corn dryer. It will not get through the corn by the time the dry corn is at its high price. But we've got some dry corn from last year waiting to be sold. Yeah, so we'll plow this field up and start planning on what I want to plant next year. Oh, I probably should look at the sale page to see if there's anything on sale. That we could really use. Trying to stay away from silage grass work this time and doing pigs instead of horses and apple juice instead of lettuce. And that's kind of the great thing, like I said before, about this game, is there are a lot of mods that are out there, and more mods will be coming in the future. It gives you an opportunity to try different things running a farm. So it's not like just keep doing the same thing. I'm sure there might be a person in here too that would want me to have some more cows again. Eventually I do want to try some, well, not try, but do maize silage. So get a silo bunker, we'll get a forage harvester, and we'll get a big cornfield and put it into chaff to make some silage out of it and just sell it. But that's going to be a ways on down the road. Alright, I don't think contract-wise, no, I was ready to say, is there a corn harvesting contract? Of course not. Sale page, I have no idea what, or remember what's in the sale page. Oh, the Novag Direct Drill is for sale. Don't have the cash for it, though. And that does require 415 horsepower, which I do not have on the farm. Well, alright. Oh yeah, so while I'm here, let me go ahead to vehicles. Corn header, return. And that's done with us field harvesting. I think we will cut this meadow grass, although, you know, it looks very brown, but we'll get what we get out of it. Let's see, that's all baling stuff I need to get in there. So we'll put the combine over here. Oh, wait, I got a lime spreader. Didn't think I had one on this series. I'm getting this series and Shamburgo mixed up. Well, I didn't say it was you, Branding, about wanting cows. I just said I'm sure there's someone or some people. I think this Ford tractor has like 370 horsepower on it. I will say the horses just love this pond down here. They're always walking around. We only got 16 horses, and there's like 4 or 5 of them in the pond right now. Hello, Miles. Welcome. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. Got to make sure that my corn dryer is on. And it is on. So it'll take, the corn dryer will take it right out of the silo, but one thing it's not doing is it's not taking the dry corn and putting it into the silo. So I'm going to empty this out just to make sure we got the room. Just gotta find the... Wait, was that corn or dry? That was corn. Where's the dry corn? There it is. Alright, now we'll put this into the silo. Alright, we're going to grab some oats as well. Going to top off the horses. We may eventually have cows on this series. We'll have to see where it goes. Wait, did I go past oats? I must have gone right past the oats. Let's see, how much can they fit in their feed trough? About 40,000 liters worth is what they can fit in there. I might want to plant some oats for next year. Because that is going to leave me... Still got 40,000 liters in the silo? Oh yeah, also now that I got money, I can do landscaping. I do have the free landscaping mod. But when you're at negative money, even though you get the free landscaping mod, it won't let you landscape because, well, you have no money. The game still wants you to make sure that you're in the positive before you landscape. So I want to put a road going up to our silo and also around to our horse barn. They should take all of this. If I would back up correctly, they would take it. Didn't seem like the trailer wanted to turn. Okay, that should be more than enough for the horses to get through winter. Let me pop this right here. Get the forward on the baler. And the Deutz will have to dig out the mowers. Not much meadow grass here to cut. And we'll just push this over to the side. Oh, I got the rear mower first. Interesting. I'll actually detach that. Makes it a little bit easier. That way I don't have to back out of the shed with that on there. Alright, let's cut some meadow grass. It doesn't look the greatest, but we'll get what we get out of it. At least it doesn't look dead when it gets cut. now we'll get ourselves a worker in the Ford. Is it going to be Francesca? Because it seems like I get Francesca a lot. No, it looks like Frank. Looks like Frank is going to be doing the baling for us today. Again, this is just meadow grass, and I've been keeping this field here. I say field. I didn't plow this up to put a field in. This is really just here for when the horses require hay, but since day one, when I cut some meadow grass and made hay bales, the horses just aren't really going through it that much. So now, we're just, every once in a while, just cutting the meadow grass to make silage bales, and might as well earn some money off of it. Okay, Raximilius, thanks for dropping on in. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and hope you have a good weekend. Oh, that's right, I keep forgetting. I don't own up to that tree line. I may have to purchase the field right here. The next lot of land over. That way I don't have to keep doing what I just did. Just gotta make sure I don't get too far ahead of my worker, or else Frank can't find his way around. Don't try to tell Frank that he can't screw it up, because you'll, like you just said, you'll try to find a way to screw it up. Make sure our greenhouses are topped off after we get these bales wrapped. And see, we fed the horses, so the horses are good. Just got to make sure our greenhouses are good to go. The corn dryer is running. And then it's time to just zip on through the winter months, other than selling stuff. Looks like we're getting about the same amount of bales as we usually do. So even though the meadow grass looks kind of brown and kind of dormant, seems like it's yielding the same. Grass looks as brown as it does over here at the moment. Probably for different reasons. Frank is, I'm trying to go at a steady pace. I think that baler does 16 miles an hour. Man, I gotta remember to switch the size of that baler. Alright. Come on, Peanut. Think. In the back of your... Just store this in the back of your memory. After we get done doing this grass field, let's switch the bales to a bigger size. Well, I mean a bigger size, bigger capacity. They're having another heat wave over there. I don't want to call it a heat wave for where I'm at, but it is a little bit toasty today. But I mean, it is middle of summer. It's almost 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and for that part of, where I live, that is a little bit warm for this time of year. Hello, Ben Stokes. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Appreciate you dropping on in for a little farming. And on one of our trips down to sell the winter grain, I will top off the Deutz with some fuel. That way it's good to go in the springtime. Good thing about this section of the field that we're cutting, it's big enough, but it's also not too big where it's going to take me forever. I'm just having flashbacks when I was on fresh stocks with that huge grass field that we had. And at the time, cutting the grass every 2 months, you got the same as if you went every 3 months. I think fresh stocks cutting that grass field 4 times a year got to be a little bit too much for me. "30 degrees at 6 p.m. Yeah. Kind of the same as it was like here last night. It never dipped below, I think it only got down to about 72 degrees last night. So, but I was comfy in bed. Ceiling fan was doing what ceiling fans do. This will be good enough. I can get almost all of that right there. Not quite, but and that's the meadow grass cut. Alright, go put this away, and by the time I get this put away, Frank should be right behind me. Now I just got to wrap these up, which won't take us too long, because we got the speedy wrapper. Okay, and then the bale wrapper is right here. Oh, wait a minute, don't want you, because you're following me, so I don't want you crashing into anything. Thanks, Frank. But you're good now. Let me just bring the bales back over here. Empty out the bale that's in there. I also switch to size. 240s. I think I'll go 242 on the size. Thank you, Crystal. I'm on top of it. But thanks for the reminder. Don't need to go on the extreme size. So basically, if you're kind of wondering about bale size, you're probably maybe asking, what is 242? So this is a selectable bale pack by Farmer G. And basically the so 240 is usually about the largest you can go. But 242 means it's going to be double the size of the bales that we have. Increase your vehicle fleet. Well, tractors cost money, and I don't have any. So, if you're looking for a series where the money comes in fast and we just buy everything, we're buying like 3 tractors a stream, you come to the wrong place. There's not a tractor in sight that I'll be purchasing for the farm anytime soon. The Deutz and the Ford are going to be our 2 tractors probably for another couple of years before we get another tractor on the farm, unless I make money surprisingly somewhere I was not aware of I was going to be making. I do love this bale wrapper though. I think it's 3 times as fast as the standard wrapper that you get in the base game. And by the way, because I know some of you have interest in Saloon Simulator that was streaming yesterday. Still haven't got a reply email about how much that game's going to be when it comes out on the 15th. And apparently also what I got told yesterday is I'm not far from the end of what the game has to offer, so I might be streaming that Monday. I don't know if I should stream it or if it's not that far to go, or maybe just record it, make an episode on it. Well, finally the sun's kind of like peeking through the clouds a little bit here, and it actually looks like we got some daylight. Couple more bales. We'll move on to making sure our greenhouses are good to go. Alright, so let's see. December, January, February is when these bales will be fermented. Kind of a good thing also about the meadow grass is I don't feel obligated to refertilize it because it's not a field, so it is what it is. All right, let's get some water in these greenhouses, and then we'll make sure they got the manure that they need as well. One of them is low, the other one's not so much. I only have one Iowa city to go for the event, but something tells me I'm going to have to drive to that city to pick up a load so I can complete it. Sometimes it's easier to do that when it comes to those cruising events. You keep waiting to try to get one that's 100 miles or whatever, and after a while it's like, you know what, why don't I just get a load that's going there, then when I get there I'll take one from there and just go, then you can just go wherever you please. I need more water. I actually heard the frogs when I went past the pond there. I'm surprised the frogs are out in November. I am kind of waiting actually to get back into ATS. Hopefully the coast to coast map gets updated. I haven't checked since I streamed it on Thursday if it has. But with the weekend here, maybe Manfred has thrown something together. Haven't checked. He may have. Davenport is all you have left. Davenport's like one of the major cities. Yeah, at that point, branding, because, I mean, either way, you're going to be going to Davenport. I would just try to find a load that's going to Davenport and then take an external contract leaving Davenport, because either way, you got to go there. So if you can't find an external contract that's getting you there, take a regular load and then beat feet out of Davenport somewhere. Oops, no. Let's go ahead and do that, do that, do that. And that way I'll keep unloading. Which one of these? Which one of you is the one low on manure? I think it's the one I'm at. How are the other ones doing on manure? Do I want to? That's got plenty. That's got plenty. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's take the manure out of the horse stable. Coast to coast isn't updated yet. Probably over the weekend it will be. Usually he throws something together, like he'll put out a version like, Here's something. Uh, it'll work, but, you know, a lot of question marks with it. I think I'm putting it in the correct one. Yep, that's the one that needs it. May do some more driving, and I would help the community goal. Always feels good to contribute that way. Yeah, and usually, well, at least the way I look at it is I try to get the personal goal done first. And then I try to find loads going maybe on some roads I haven't taken yet. Oh, the Coast to Coast was updated today. Yeah, I do kind of want to get back in the ATS because I got to figure out if my track IR system was just acting up because there was sunlight peeking behind me, or what the deal with my track IR is. But as I mentioned, Car Dealer Simulator had an update the other day. I gotta try to get something out on that. And I also gotta get Shamburgo recorded. And this upcoming week, my time is limited a little bit. Didn't know the horses actually had that much manure in the stable. Don't use coast to coast at this time because you have enough states to cover. Yeah, I mean, the base, well, I don't want to say base maps, but the SCS states cover quite a good range now. But I still find it fun traveling down to like Florida myself every once in a while. Except since I'm kind of working on my external contract quest for my profile, can't do external contracts on a modded map, so man, at some point I may have to get myself the wheel loader with a 10,000 liter bucket for the manure. Just think, every bucket load I'm picking up is like $80 worth. So I think these greenhouses, the way I'm using them, it's about 1,000 liters a month of manure that they use. So I've probably got more than enough in here to get me through until springtime. Yeah, I got plenty in there now. But I'll do about 2 more because that'll give me about equal what the other 2 have. Manure spreader. The horses don't make that much manure. I mean, they do pretty well for themselves. Alright, we'll take care of the greenhouses again with water and manure in the springtime, but they should be good to go through the winter months, and we are all set to go through the winter months with a brief stop for selling some of the grain. Let's see, let's park this over here. So let me just double check here. Yep, we're doing root crop. Also sunflowers. Looks like we're full on sunflowers. Let me go ahead and deactivate that. Deactivate that. And we'll just let that sit there as is. You want to check on the other stuff? Yep, so we're good there, good there. Corn is doing the corn thing. Why does this still say 22,000 liters of corn? Is it? I think it's showing what's in the silo. Yeah, as long as this is not full, that's all that matters. The horses, probably have to give them some hay next month. And you can see our horses are worth 12,008, and they got a little ways more before they have reproduction. So maybe I don't think it'll be today because I have to go like through 6 months or so. Yeah, so I think we're all set. And the sale page I did check on. Oh, the direct reel is gone. Not that I could afford it, or could I actually use it. I don't have a tractor with enough horsepower for that. All right, so maybe I should just one too many buttons there. Double check my stock market page. So poppy sells in March. Okay. Corn is January. Rye. Where's the rye? Rye is also January. Sunflowers are March. Well, we'll go month by month. So the money will go down because of our loan payment, property maintenance, production maintenance, production buildings. Nothing in the sale page. And stock market page is not too bad. I think we'll actually just go to January and sell that stuff. Horses, they should have enough hay to get by one more month. Alright, yeah, I'm just going to skip December and we'll get to January, and we're actually going to sleep until is he going to sleep till 10 in December, or yeah, we're still in December. Sleep until 10 till January. Tomorrow's wife's birthday. I have to keep reminding myself of it all day so I don't forget. Best way is to stay up the rest of the day. When midnight hits, just tap her on the shoulder and say happy birthday. And then you don't have to worry about it. There's snow on the ground. That's going to make driving back and forth a pain in the butt. All right, horses, you're probably... Oh, you went through all your hay. Not that big deal, because if they ran out of hay, their health is still 100%, but we'll give them some hay. So we're starting off by giving them some hay. Let's see, dry corn. The best time to sell it should be January. Look at that, 692,771. All right, so dry corn, as we know. Lettuce is looking real good. Oats we keep. The rye price is still going up. All right, so dry corn, lettuce, feed the horses. All right, so we got a little snowfall in wintertime, which is not bad to see, but we won't be staying too long here. Why is it cheating by waiting until midnight and then tell her happy birthday? I mean, it technically is her birthday. Not really sure how that's cheating. Alright, we're going to grab 3 bales. Left my trailer out in the snow. I don't know if they changed that. Because usually trailers will fill up with snow. But I think as a default now in 25, I'm not sure, but they won't fill up with snow. Got to really wiggle in here for the hay. How are they doing on straw? Oh, they got plenty of straw. Alright, so that's all the hay they can take because their feed trough is completely full. So we'll just leave that there. Little snug in here, but telehandler fits-ish. Alright, grab the doits. Wait, leave it up here? I did. So we'll go sell the dry corn first. That dry corn price, boy, really peaks must be at midnight and then it drops like a rock. I don't see any snow accumulating in the trailer. The horse is kind of swimming in the pond when it's froze over. Oats. Looking for the dry corn. Did I go buy it? There it is. And we'll grab whatever dry corn this has over here. I think currently the only place I'm really delivering stuff to is a farmer's market. Farmer's market. Everything pretty much is farmer's market. We got a little fog down at the river, so Just gotta be careful about the bridge. The bridge is there somewhere, but I can see it. And we'll make sure we get ourselves the diesel fuel this time. Yeah, the Ford was mostly for transporting grain around, but since the Ford top speed is only 16, the Deutz does pretty darn good. I think most of us that are here, we've all hit that age at this point. When it's our birthday, we just acknowledge it, and that's about it. No gifts needed. Personally, I could care less if people even acknowledge my birthday, so every day is the same to me. Oh wait, I got grain this time, not here, so we gotta go around the other side for the farmer's market. Get us back over 100 grand in the bank account. Fill her up, please. There are oak trees. I can see them in the distance. They are still just in the first growth stage. We got about another 15, 16 months, I think, before they're fully mature. Alright, so now we're going to go back, and I don't think the rye price has peaked out yet, so we may have to skip time forward a little bit. But I could sell the lettuce. The lettuce is at a very good price. And who knows, maybe in the long run here in New Hope, once we get a community down and we get to the winter months, I may actually do a little bit of snow plowing, which I haven't done. I must have done something in FS22, but maybe not. Maybe it hasn't been since FS19 since I've done snow plowing or snow removal. Alright, so it is rye. That's kind of up next here. Yeah, the price is going up, and it should be January, so we'll fill up with rye. And anything else, oats I keep for the horses. Lettuce we're going to sell here shortly. Everything else is pretty much not today, so yeah, we'll fill this up with rye. $50,000. That might be more than what this trailer holds. forgot what this trailer is. You don't go out to eat because it seems like quality of food is not like it used to be. The quality and the price. Yeah, so you may have seen from our stock market page, I got like $80,000 worth of lettuce to sell. And we still got the poppy and the sunflower to sell in March. So maybe after I sell this lettuce, we'll have some look at some land. And then when I sell the poppy and sunflower, that'll be the money I could use for like leasing a drill, putting line down. Which now I know I don't have to lease a bridle spreader because I got one. One of these days, this trip back and forth is going to look just a little bit better when we get some housing down. I'm going to try to keep all of the farmland mostly on either side of the map. So like where our trees are, we'll probably maybe have some different type of fields down there, and of course where we currently are. And in the middle will be like a development area for building houses. Alright, this should be a pretty good payday. We might actually get over $200,000 in the bank account. Up to 210. Make sure everything is off the trailer, which it is. Alright, we'll advance some time and wait for the ride price to get near its peak. And once we sell that, then we'll probably slowly get our way ourselves to March. I may sell some more lettuce in February because that's supposed to be the peak time. But I may just go on to March because March is not going to be a bad price either. It does seem that driving in the snow since the last patch doesn't seem that bad. Although I only got one layer of snow here. If I get more layers, it might be more difficult. Where's my bridge? There you are. Alright. Drop off our trailer just up here anywhere. Ooh, slipping and sliding. A little bit of drifting. I think I got a couple extra 1,000 liters left in the silo. We'll just sell the full grain and leave the rest in there for another time. I'm sure I'll plant rye again at some point. Alright, so just to be sure, rye is 500. Price is going up. 538 is the peak time. So I'll put it at high speed and we'll drive on down as time is zipping on through. Either way, it's being sold today and it's going to be sold before it gets dark. I don't do dark. I don't farm at night, don't drive ATS at night. Well, the snow just disappeared while it's snowing. So made it almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll see what the price is, and well, it is what it is at this point. Let's see, rye is up. It says that, okay, it was 500. It says the price is going up, but it actually dropped to 487. What? You can't trust that, man. Those green up arrows and the red down arrows, can't trust them at all. Said the price is going up and it dropped 13. Alright, so we got $250,000 in our bank account. Let's see if I can spend it, which I'm sure I can. See how much the next plot of land over is going to be. If I can afford it or not. Some are worth like $300,000, but you get a lot of land. And that way I can kind of start planning a little bit more for our farmyard. Where the heck is the... Oh, there it is. It's almost like they made it extra foggy down there so you can't see where the bridge is. I could cross a little bit further over to the left where you don't have to go over the water. You don't have to worry about it. But where would the fun be in that? It's not that big of a deal if I were to have to miss a bridge and go through the river. The river's not too deep to where it's going to shut the tractor off, but it's going to be one heck of a ride going through it. Let's see, where do I want to park you, Mr. Trailer? Probably in front of the Combine would be the best one, because the Combine's not going to get used until midsummer. All right, let's see how much that plot of land goes for. So it's going to be plot number 3 for $197,270. Well, I can afford it. There we go. So the farmyard's going to be here, so we can make a field. That'd be one heck of a field over there. Be about as big as field number 11. Make 2 fields or 1? Not sure what I want to do with that yet. Well, I got so much equipment in here. So that leaves me just shy of 40,000, which is going to go bye-bye really quick, especially when you sleep through the night. Not going to bother to check the sale page. We'll sleep until 10 in February because the only thing I would do is sell lettuce. And I may just wait and sell it in March. Silage bales will be ready in February, but since silage price stays the same year around pretty much, it's not a rush to go sell that either. Yeah, there is plenty of room for cows over there. But I have no way to access. There's no way to get cows. No one can deliver cows here yet. So we're going to have to wait. Lettuce. Yeah, $41,000 worth of lettuce. I think we'll just skip this month. And get to March. Poppy, $994. The price is going up. Do I want to trust that? We'll let time advance a little bit. Let me get into flight mode. Just so we can see exactly how big this area is. And all the way up to that tree line, basically. That's a huge area. That is a flippin' huge area. Let's grab the Deutz, and might as well get the trailer loaded up with Poppy. Alright, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What's that Poppy price up to? 1,003. Yeah, we'll probably sell it now. I may advance time just a little bit more. Kind of forgot. How much poppy did we end up harvesting? First, I got to find it on my list. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's 2 trailer loads. I'll advance time a little bit more because that price was going up. At least it said it was. 1,005. Yeah, so if I sold it right now, I would get 65.6. If I wait a little bit better, I might get 67. So a couple $1,000s more. So we'll just We'll just sell it as it is now. Farmer's market, I would assume. Yeah, farmer's market. You've been scolded. I don't know. I am, you got me thinking a little bit there, Brandon, because that plot of land is rather large. Now, I said make a field. Now I'm starting to think that's a big field, man. I'll start plowing up a field and see how I want to go with it. Because if I do beef cattle, I don't want to get into milking cattle, but if I do beef cattle, and we plant grass in a field, and then their pasture becomes a actual grass field, I may not have to do a whole bunch of work to keep them fed. I mean, their health won't be the greatest with regular grass. But if I decide to go with a butcher mod on this map, I don't know. I won't be doing it today or making that decision. It'll be something I gotta think about. Well, that's trailer number 1. We got pretty much 52, about $52,500 for a trailer. And we got another trailer to go. Yeah, I thought about zipping on to March, but that poppy price is good, and I don't want it to do what the the dry corn price, it was really dropped like a rock overnight. Just wish the best prices weren't like at midnight. Well, the good thing about this map, the way it's going, I got plenty of land to put the butcher shop down. Yeah, it's rather large. Alright. Give me some more poppy. Horses. Let me just have a look at the horses here. 14,241. Reproduction's up to 81%. So maybe in April we'll see what happens. I don't know if we'll get to April today or not. Because we got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do in March. This Deutz is definitely the workhorse on the farm. I got 12 and a half hours on it. I mean, it's either this or the Ford. And the Ford being a manual gear and top speed of only 16 kind of, I don't want to say it pushes me away from using it too much. It's meant for doing field work, but it's kind of struggled a little bit with the field work. Doesn't do too bad with the planting when it's not a plowed field. If it's just a regular field, it does okay. If it's a plowed field, then going over the furrows, it just keeps gear shifting quite a bit. Well, I think I got the mod active here, but we can kind of see, if you're wondering about the butcher shop, some people, if we go to here, prices, we can see some of the prices of what the stuff it makes. So it makes bacon. So that's going to be from pigs, 836. I mean, I may just do it just because the butcher shop. If I, make money, lose money, we'll find out. Siobhan, 802. Chicken filet, 802. Ground beef, 792. Ham, 801. Again, these are all prices for hard economy. What else does it make? Mutton, 810. Pepperoni, 802. So it seems to be like all 800. Sausage, 804. Steak, 922. So the butcher shop makes quite a bit of different material or produce. And I did a quick look at it, quick test on it on a test map. And basically, like, if I put one cow in there, it would make like 5 different things. So it's not too complicated on the recipes. I was trying to figure out if I want to use it on Shamburgo or here. I might do both. Who knows? I don't know. Every day is an adventure when I log in a farming simulator because I'm not quite sure in the long run where we're going. I barely know what I'm doing in this particular stream or in my next recording of Shamburgo. It's like I know what to start with. Where I go after that, not quite sure. So that's all of the crop that we are selling. So we'll put the trailer. Well, actually, I got sunflower, but the sunflower is actually in the greenhouse. I think I'll go on to March before I sell that. It's not a whole lot, so if the price does peak out overnight, whatever. And by emptying this out right now, I'll be able to reactivate it and I'll make some more overnight. So go into here, this greenhouse here, sunflower, activate, and activate. Yeah, lettuce, I think I'll wait until March. Silage bales will wait until March, and we'll sell the sunflower in March as well. Just double check this page. Ooh, a John Deere 8R. Although I just use a John Deere 8R on the Penier series. Can't afford it anyways, so... yeah, we'll just ignore the sale page for now. Yep, think we're all set. We will sleep, but only until 8:30. A little bit of hail, but I don't have nothing planted, so don't care. Year number 4. Hello, year number 4. How you doing? So let's see what we got for prices. Silage price is looking good. Sunflower price is looking real good. Lettuce price is still not bad. $1,083 compared to $1,118. But we got $70,000 worth of lettuce. So silage, sunflowers, and lettuce. We'll start by selling that today. Some more trips on down. Sale page does have interesting items in there. So the John Deere AR is an interesting item. And of course a forage harvester would be interesting if I was doing the corn chaff. But we are years away from doing that. So, yep, we'll grab the sunflower. We'll go sell that. Silage and lettuce. And then we can get to farming. Actually, what I might do, because we're going to be doing some of it ourselves, we're going to get one of the Franks plowing up the cornfield. A real farmer would be up well before then. Who's to say I wasn't up? I just was out in the field at 8:30. The plow does attach to this, right? It should. Or it does not. I thought I used a plow on that. Oh, 3-point linkage does not... That's a 3-point link. That is not a 3-point linkage. Well... That's disappointing. Alright, well, we'll go sell the sunflower. Sell the sunflower. I suppose I could lease the drill. Because I gotta get the oats in the ground. But I do want to spread lime as well before I plant. Alright, a lot of jobs to get to. Oh yeah, pressure washer may not be a bad idea once I get some money as well. It's only $4,500 for a pressure washer. And when we go past the farmer's market, I'll have a peek out to our oak field, or oak forest. And we'll see if the oak trees have hit the second growth stage yet. Trying to have a peek through the woods here. I don't think they have. They look like they're the same height as they've been for the past few months. Alright, it's nice $23,000 coming on in. I'm just going to take a quick little trip out to the oak trees. But I don't think they've grown. Yeah, it looks like they're definitely still in the first growth stage. I think I planted them last April, so it's been exactly a year. So yeah, they got like another year and a couple months to go. I think at the beginning, once we get the sawmill, I probably will just sell the materials out of the sawmill for a little bit if we're still trying to mosey along financially before we start building houses. Although I'm also going to need this cement production for cement bricks, tile, and cement bags. I think I'll grab the silage bales next just to get them off the meadow grass field. And after that, I think, oh, actually, before I sell the lettuce, I think we'll grab the Breedle spreader and we'll start spreading some lime down. Because I've been making a lot of trips down to the farmer's market selling here recently, so maybe take a little bit of break from selling. And no, I don't feel like cutting the meadow grass in the field that we just bought before I go ahead and plow it up. Don't feel like doing that. So we should get about 20,000 for these silage bales. Maybe closer to 25. Now where that grass swath is, we should own that land. So next time I do cut this area, we can get that cleaned up a little bit. And as for cutting down trees here and selling those, once we get the sawmill, now we're just gonna, that's why we're planting the oak trees planned ahead. I don't want to be cutting down the trees up here. And one more bale. And next time we won't have as many bales because we increase the capacity of our bales in the balers, so it'll reduce the amount of trips we'll have to make, which is usually just 2. So yeah, we're going to have enough money financially to buy lime, spread that down, and lease a drill. Hate to say it, but it might be the momentum drill once again that I lease. Because all the base game direct drills, the widest one's 9 meters, the momentum is 11. I would like to lease a bigger one, but then the leasing fees are just going to be extreme. But maybe not as bad as I think, but then again, I also don't have a tractor that could probably pull it. That'll be the next problem. I think the Ford's a 360 or 370 horse. So yeah, 11, 12, 13,000 for a full trailer. I don't think I got another full trailer up there. It'll be awfully close, but I think it comes up a little shy. So yeah, we should get 25 grand for that silage when all's said and done. But let's go back. I think the Ford can hitch up to the Breedle spreader because that's not a 3-point link. That should be just a regular ball hitch. Love how you can see the red silo from a long distance. Alright, we'll pick up the bales, but like I said, I'm not going to bring them down to the store as of yet. We'll work on the cornfield first. I'll put lime in it with the Ford. And then once I get the lime in, the Deutz, I'll get a worker to plow the field. And we'll continue on in the Ford, putting some lime down in the other fields. So we'll have 11 bales in total on this trailer. me just see what the other direct drill with the air cart. How much would that cost me to lease that? Or how much horsepower it requires? So if we go into Cedars, I don't know if I even have the mod activated. I do not. Alright, so I don't have it activated. I don't know if it's even still in my mods folder. The Amazon, yeah, the Amazon is not a direct drill. Neither is that one. That one is, but that requires 550 horsepower. And I can imagine a leasing fee on that would be extreme. So for planters, that's the one we go for. That planter is not a direct planter. This one is. But I need to plant oats this month, so I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the Voltra Momentum once again. Hate to keep using the same drill, but it's like the only what I would call mid-sized drill that's a direct drill. I know there's a mod of the Mod Hub that'll make every drill and planter a direct drill. And the reason why I want a direct drill, of course, is because I don't have to cultivate beforehand, and I'll get maximum score on tillage for precision farming. Oh well, it is what it is. Alright, I hope this hitches on up to the Bredal spreader. Don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, the PTO shaft, though, it's not going to hook up to anything, but it'll work. Because it works the baler. It's best not to ask questions why the PTO shaft doesn't hook up to anything and why it works. That's right, I was going to start landscaping around here a little bit more. So let's actually get started on that as well. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get through the month of April, or to the month of April this stream. Just got too much work to do. Alright, so let's go into construction. Good, yeah, I can kind of see my tire marks. Painting. Dirt, gravel is what I prefer. So naturally just going to follow where the tire tracks were because I took that route to get here. Maybe make it a little bit wider through there. Also, into here. Kind of do that and that. That'll work. Also, I don't need to make the road that wide. We'll just zip on up through here. This will be going into the farmyard at some point. But for now, For now, we'll just do it like this. So it's a little bit of something. That's a little bit better. Hello, Crow Daddy. Welcome. Hope you're having a good almost Sunday for you. If it's not Sunday yet, I know it soon will be for you. But hope you're having a good weekend so far. You missed all the winter months. I don't think any of my soil's out of date. I better check that before I start. Well, I think it would tell me if I was spreading lime that my soil was out of date. I forgot what page it tells you. Oh, it would tell me on this page right here. And nope, none of them are out of date, so we're good. Figured it would be because I'm in year 4. Cold and rainy day there, so you're going to play on your computer. Yeah, so it's like the coldest time of the year for you, I would assume, seeing that you're in the southern hemisphere. So we do got some rain in the forecast, so... But rain only affects you when you're using a harvester, which we are not doing today. So that was kind of interesting. Going through that bottom section, it did not require a lime, but it shows lime on the ground. I didn't use any lime whatsoever. I'm guessing that section of the field was over-limed from the previous time. Interesting. I was trying to see if they, since the update, did they change anything with precision farming about putting lime down. I still think it's going to show it as... because it's more realistic this way, the way it's actually spreading. I know some people may not like it because they got used to the way it was in 22. But as a spreader works, you're going to get more put down in the center than you do on the sides of where it's spreading. That's why you're not getting even coloring across the field. Finally got to finish Robocop Rogue City, so not too bad. Well, see, there's some upsides about having some bad weather. I mean, it's got to rain sometime. So we'll get this field lime spread, and we'll get the Deutz in here. Get one of the Franks to come on in and start tearing it up with the plow. This was the cornfield, so it needs plowing afterwards. As you can see, we're not using a whole bunch of lime either. Used about 5,000 liters so far. All right, one more pass, and this field will be all set with a pH value for a couple of years at least. Do I dare put this on a worker for the next field as I get things set up? Looks like Bob's out in the town tonight. But we all know Bob's the wild man, so he could be. Do I ever play any shooters? Robocop is a gate. I dabble into shooters. I used to be into Tom Clancy's The Division. I played quite a bit of Cycle Frontier when that was out a year ago. Games like that, but I feel like as I get older, I'm more into the, I don't want to say relaxed pace type of games. Of all things, doing a Saloon Simulator, I don't have a 6-pistol on that for some reason. The money is going to go up and down quite a bit. We started the stream, I was at negative 60. I was at negative 60,000. But we just bought some land that was like $200,000 worth. So yeah, we are. Farm's doing fine. It's the greenhouses that are keeping us going in the beginning. Alright, so I just hired a worker. I probably should use course play, but I'm going to hire a worker to do this. Maybe I should have done course play. Where are you going? Are you aiming for Sam? Are you trying to run over Sam? So this is the thing. I can't see when you hire a worker with precision farming how much lime they're putting down. But it appears to be putting down the right amount. Quote unquote. This is not a multiplayer server, so the answer is, can we play together? The answer would be no. It's not an open server or anything. Yeah, also when I got told that I'm pretty much at the end of Saloon Simulator, which I hope I'm not, because I got a lot of rooms to open, a lot more things to figure out. Alright, I think here I'm going to use course play, because I trust course play more than the base game. Recognize that field. Go that way. 12 meter wide, yes. Number of headlands. Just do 1. And 3% overlap should be fine. Trying to get them started. And then hire a worker. Says it'll take them about 11 minutes to get the job done. Oh, John, you were not here yesterday. Lucky you. But from what Skender said yesterday, he'll be no longer joining us, so that's all I have to say about that. You turn off the realism settings for PF. My colors don't look like a tie-dye shirt like yours does. I'm okay with precision farming doing what it's doing for more realism. With a fertilizer, it doesn't do that, because when I use the direct drill, it's going to be able to put it down evenly. If I were because I did use the fertilizer spreader on Shamburgo, it did the same thing as lime does. Because obviously using a spreader, it's going to put down more near the center, and as it goes further outwards, you're going to get less and less of it. But the coverage area is still the same, so I'm okay with that. And it doesn't really affect the yield that much either. So now that I'm getting used to precision farming in FS25 and the way it looks, I'm okay with it. And I'm used to it, so it doesn't bother me anymore. So while this is going on, yeah, planters. So we're going to lease this bad boy right here again. Yeah, fertilizer distributing, brands. Massey Ferguson or Voltra? We'll go Massey Ferguson. And for color this time, do I want to go I'm just not a fan of red. Maybe just a gray. Although the gray makes it look kind of bland. Every time I see that color, I want to get a Corona beer and put a lime in it. How about just a blue? All right, we can do that. So we're going to lease this. So not too bad. If I keep it overnight, $1,000 overnight, which I may have to do. All right. All right, so the worker's here. How is the worker doing spreading lime in this field? All right, they're getting along. All right, so what we're going to do, since both my tractors are being used, is we're going to go back into construction. And we're going to come over to here. And actually, we're going to expand this area quite a bit. Do I want to do square? No, we'll leave it like this. So actually we'll come in like so. And again, this is going to be the whole farmyard area, so I might as well just paint most of this in. So we did buy the lot that we're looking up towards, this area up here. We did buy this lot of land today. So we own that. We got to create a field. I think we'll do it like so. And like so. I do want to leave some space here. This is where some of our sheds are going to go. Boy, do I want to... What do we got for sheds? At least maybe get a shed started over here. And, boy, these sheds are expensive. Even that one's 106. I do like that one. That's 176. That's 152. Not a big fan of that one too much. This is the one we got on the other side, which is nice. Do I have the one that's... I think it's like 80 grand? Ooh, I do got this one that's worth 80 grand. Do you want to throw this one down and spend some of your money? That way you got more stuff to throw around, or what do you want to do? I feel like I want to get the farmyard kind of going. I think that's what we're going to do. Let me go ahead and make sure we're nice and level. Well, I can't see us not being level here, but you never know. This is a shed we have used before. This is a drive-through shed. Oh, let's not do it that way. Probably better off doing it like... let's face it like this. It's in now. Get this back out. And then do the same over here. Alright, the farmyard is kind of taking place. Alright, so with this still going on, although some of the work is almost being done, let me try to clear out some of this stuff. And the combine and the header is the first thing I'm thinking of, just because, I mean, nothing's really happening in the game, but I don't want my header sitting outside without being protected. Oh yeah, and a pressure washer is what we need. Wow, it already looks quite different around here just by getting rid of the meadow grass and putting down a shed. Alright, pressure washer, is that under tools? Or it's under tools. Why do you always put the shed so close to the trees? The trees aren't in my way at all. There's no trees coming through. And we got plenty of space to come out this way, if we want to. I could probably even make a tight corner and get through here to get to that field, but it's only just to that field. I don't see where the trees are much in the way. There we go. Combine's looking a little bit better. Can I get to the header? Nope. Alright, the plow has finished their job. So that means we can grab the Deutz and start creating a field. So that was kind of like perfect timing. There we go. I don't have to detach from the header either. Can you leave everything that's parked right there? Yeah, that's looking good. You still got plenty of lime, so you're good. How are we doing here? Did you miss anything? Your course place, I'm going to assume you probably didn't. Okay, maybe you missed a tiny little spot here. Alright, so the cornfield is all set to be planted in. I may put the oats in that one. Now the question is, what the heck do I do back here? So exactly where... I gotta find my property boundary. So if I go to here... Alright, I'm pretty much on the property boundary. So if I go at 270, that's going to put me almost in direct line. But I don't want to go right to the corner of the field because I don't know exactly how the map boundary works. So right now I'm just plowing up a field. I don't know exactly, you know, what I'm doing back here. We're just trying to see exactly how big this field's going to look. All right, so maybe up to that bush. Keep on going. Oh, yeah, that's about as far as we need to be going. Alright, now if I drive at 90 degrees, which I pretty much am right there, that should keep me in my field boundary. If you're wondering what I'm saying, if you look at the bottom left-hand corner of the mini-map where the compass is, you can see where I'm driving at 90 degrees on the map. So I should be in line with the map, just to be sure. Yeah, looking nice and straight. Again, I don't know if I want a field this big, but the only way to see exactly how big it is, I guess, is just to plow around it and see what happens. I may divide this field up into two. Alright, let's not go right to the tree line. Let's leave a nice little passageway for trucks and such. I mean, it's big, but it's not, you know, might not be, it might be about the same size as that field right there that the Ford is currently in. Stay on this side of the tree line. Ooh. Okay. Alright, so I gotta drive at 270. Just want to make sure I own this property here still. I go for it a little bit more. Alright, right about there should be good. I can paint in that part of the field back in. where I overlapped. Just so it looks better. Starting to think this might be the field for poppy. Okay, let me square this off here. I mean, yeah, it's a decent sized field, but I don't think it's oversized too much. And if you look at this field over here, they'd be about the same size. So it's not, I don't think it's oversized at all. I think it's fine. That field off in the distance, that is an NPC field, just like that one is down there as well. It looks like our worker is almost done spreading the lime in that field. Let's get back on down to earth. Oh, I've been playing at ×5. I need to go a little bit slower than that. I'll put it at ×1 for now, because I got a lot more work to do. Alright, so we don't need the mini-map anymore. So, yep, it'll need to be soil sampled, lime spread, and then, of course, we can plant right into it. No, we're not. I mean, I'm not going to say I won't do sugarcane maybe on this map. I don't think I will. But whatever the John Deere 9X can harvest is what we can plant. It's nice that we're expanding still, and we've done quite a bit already today. Again, like I said, when we started the stream today, I was negative 60,000. I currently sit at 37,000, we'll say. I bought this property that we're on, and I bought an $80,000 shed. I do got silage bales still to sell, but like 12 grand, and I got some lettuce that may bring me in like 40 or 50 grand. I don't know how much lettuce I got. But we could be back up to $100,000 here very soon. But I gotta start saving up for the sawmill, which I'll need about this time next year. But that should not be a problem. Alright, so the Ford got done spreading lime in that field. Let's go top off the brittle spreader and I'll get it into what was the rye field. Alright, let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit as well. Down to here. Is that just grass texture? No, it's not grass texture. Maybe it's grass cut? No. That'll blend in a little bit. Alright, and then pop in the meadow grass. There we go. Jump into the Ford. I wonder how the pH value looks in the field after the AI worker did it. Actually, that looks pretty darn good. Why is it showing... Almost looks like tram lines. Which I don't have tram lines in my field. Oh well. So yeah, my precision farming score is going to go down because I'm creating a field. So the nitrogen, pH value, tillage, soil sampling, and weed control are all going to be at 50% right now. It's going to be terrible. But it's not going to drop too much. I don't know, when Crow Daddy said sugarcane, it does make me think, what is the worst crop to work with? And I guess I would have to maybe clarify that base game, using base game stuff, what crop would be the worst? I mean, I think sugarcane ranks right up there because the harvester for the sugarcane is only 2 meter. All right, so for this, I'm going to use horseplay to see what that does with pH. One headland, overlap a bit. All right, get it started. All right, it says it'll be done in about 8 minutes or so. I won't be. But in 8 minutes, I'll get a lot of this field done. So at least for the first year, I'll keep the field this size, and we'll see how I feel about it after harvest season. I may divide it up after this year. Base game would have to be cotton because of the harvester. I still think sugarcane's a lot worse than that. Way worse. I haven't used the pea harvester since Riverbend Springs, so I don't know if they've adjusted that at all. I mean, vegetables is also a good one because the base game harvester does not have a capacity. At least, I don't think it does. I haven't checked on it in 25, but it doesn't have a capacity. See, but things like potatoes, though, you got yourself. It's got a harvester and it can hold a crop. Yeah, it's got to be its own thing, but so does sugarcane, and the sugarcane harvester is only 2 meters wide. Actually, how much is that sugarcane harvester? I never actually bought the sugarcane harvester. That's going to be under specialty harvesters. Sugarcane. That's 350,000, and the working width is only 2 meter. It's only 2 meter wide. I'm not talking about making money on it. I'm just talking about the worst one to work. I'm not talking about how much money you make off of it. Good night, John. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And yeah, I should be here Monday. Next week is going to be a lot of weird things. Tuesday I'll definitely be here because I'll be streaming a new game called Eric's Home. At least I hope to be streaming that. Yeah, I'm just talking about what crop is the worst one to work with. I'm not talking financially and all that. What's going to take a lot of your time in a field to work with, and I know sugarcane. The reason why I just say sugarcane is because, like I said, it only has a 2 meter wide header. It yields a lot, so you're constantly filling up your trailers. So you got to bring the you got to transport the sugarcane to wherever you're transporting it to. But in a way, sugarcane does grow back, so it's not like you got to replant it every year. Base game potato only does 1 or 2 lines at a time. Isn't the header on that like a 6 meter? Or is it a 4 meter? I forgot on the potato harvester. Is that a 6 or 4? First I gotta find... It's a 6 or a 4. Doesn't tell me there. 6 working speed. Doesn't tell you the size of the header in that thing? I'm not looking at modded stuff. It looks like maybe a 3 or a 4. But, I mean, we all have the crops that we just know we don't want to do. I just know every time I do sugarcane with the base game harvester, I do it for entertainment purposes, and about halfway through, I just start talking to myself in my head, why did I do sugarcane? I hate doing sugarcane. Unless it's with a modded forage harvester and a header. But why am I doing sugarcane? I would say the same about vegetables. When I did the vegetables on Zelanka when it came out in 22, that harvester was like, yeah, I don't like doing it with this harvester. But we all have our jobs. We all have the ones that we don't like to do. And other people will say, I love doing that kind of stuff. It's just interesting to see what you guys have to say, what you think the worst crop is to deal with. Yeah, you should get... Well, it used to be, you know, at least in FS22 it was 3... you get 3 yields off of a sugarcane field. But that's the other way I looked at it. After harvesting it halfway through the first time, I think to myself, man, I got 2 more years of harvesting sugarcane. That's the way I looked at it. Now, depending on what you're doing with the sugarcane, you can make a lot of money off of the sugarcane. It just takes, to me, it's just a lot of work. But money-wise, yeah, it does pretty well. Well, I'm glad I haven't started planting yet because here comes the hail. You gave up like 5 minutes with veggies. Yeah, with the veggies, unless I'm using a modified harvester, I don't get involved with them. But I suppose something like vegetables on a multiplayer server could be fun. I mean, if you got like 4 or 5 people playing on a server, doing vegetables may not be that bad with the base game stuff. Do you get multiple crops of lavender? Lavender is like a grass field in a way, but you only get 1... Wait, am I thinking the right crop? Do you have to... I can't remember now if you got to replant lavender or not. Or is lavender like grass? Might be able to tell. Yeah, lavender might be replanting every year, because if it's like grass, grass is going to show you almost year round you can plant that stuff. What was the rice like to do? Rice is simple to take care of. Rice was very easy to do. Long grain rice, very easy to do. I haven't not done just rice yet, but at least the rice planter and the harvester are not that expensive. And yeah, for sugarcane, if you're using base game stuff, you're not going to be putting sugarcane into a silo. If you're storing it, you're going to need a bunker silo, or it'll have a lot of sugar plants, so you have a place to put it in. The Ford is done. So all of our fields have been lined currently. Wait, what? Why is it showing me... Says it's good there. Why is the indicator showing me otherwise? Okay, now it's more... That was weird. Oh, right at the edge of the field. You know what? I'm just going to ignore it. Just going to ignore whatever that was showing me. Hello, White Hammer Gaming. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Saturday so far. Alrighty, we have transformed the way the farm is looking today. Not bad when I started with negative 70 or negative 60,000, whatever it was. Alright, this has to wait until I finish plowing up this field and get some soil sampling done. Rain washing it away. Well, hopefully the rain is actually making the lime soak into the ground. You question precision farming, and when I use it on that map, I didn't like what it was doing, so I took it back out. The hit and miss is not a good thing. I'm not sure what you mean by the hit and miss. If you're talking about the hit and miss because you're not seeing the even colors going across, if you got the realism turned on, it's because of the spreader. When a spreader spreads lime or fertilizer, it's not going to spread it evenly. You're going to get more in the center than you do on the far edges of where it's spreading. So that's why you get the colors as you do. And you're really still not losing a whole lot of yield if you're not maximized or at perfect if you're not at perfect conditions. If you use a fertilizer spreader, it's going to do the same as a lime spreader. If you use a direct drill to put your fertilizer in, your nitrogen is going to be spot on across the field. I don't have any rocks. I don't think there's any rocks on this map so much. Yeah, if you don't like the way it's reacting, I know some people don't like the more realism side of the spreaders with lime and fertilizer. They like the way it was in 22. And I get it, because at first, when I was doing precision farming in 25, I was like, wait, what's this all about? And after watching a video on explaining why it's doing the way it's doing, because they went to more realism. But you should be able to click that off and get more even spreading, I think. What is the worst one to plant? But not sure what you're asking there, Crow Daddy. It's kind of like the same question I was asking. Which one are you asking money-wise? Which one is the worst one to plant, or which one is the worst one to work with? Because I was kind of going on which one's the worst one to work with, and I'm going to stick with sugarcane for myself, just because sugarcane requires a lot of work. Only requires a lot of work when it comes time to harvest it. Money-wise, I'm not sure which one is the worst crop. Just trying to think of the crop. Well, if you say what is the worst produce to plant, are you counting olives and grapes? Because I would put olives and grapes on that list of ones to plant. I mean, it's a crop in game, but those are technically orchards. No, I missed a little section. There we go. Oh, the crop that takes longest to plant? Poplar. I think poplar is only what, a meter? What's the planter for poplar? Isn't it a meter? That's gonna be under forestry. Yeah, so poplar is a meter. So So I would go with poplar as the worst one to plant, because this is the working width. You're staying with cotton. If you can make fabric with your cotton, cotton will make you loads of money. Cotton's not that hard to plant. Harvesters are not that. Well, the John Deere cotton harvester is overpriced in my opinion. Canola takes a long time to grow. It does take a long time to grow, but you still get the one harvest per year like every other crop. But now, I mean, if you leave the environmental damage on, like hail, the longer the crop is in the ground, the more chance it's going to get damaged from storms. So, yeah. That's about the only negative thing about canola. I thought poplar was like grass. Well, the only way to plant it in the base game that I know of is with a tree planter. And yeah, it's only 1 meter wide, so... on the positive side, when you buy seedlings or saplings for poplar, it lasts a long time, so it's not like you gotta buy a whole bunch of saplings. But to plant a field like this with poplar, if you really wanted to cram it all in, it would take a while. You like cotton too? Yeah, I don't mind cotton at all. I mean, if you got the money to just if you got a field and you got a planter and you plant cotton in it, I would recommend leasing maybe the cotton harvester if you can do it within under an hour. But on Dark Forest, where I had the cotton field, that field wasn't that big, and even on hard economy, I was making like $300,000 to $400,000 a year on fabric, which I made into clothing as well. Trees take longest to grow? Well, you would hope trees take longest to grow. Yeah, the cotton harvester, if you know it's going to take you less than an hour to harvest your cotton field, and you're going to be on the map less than 10 years, then you're probably better off just leasing the cotton harvester. $3 million is not a big loan. Alright, turn off allow create fields because I don't want that. Alright, bring the plow back. We'll get the soil sampler. Take some samples. I don't like the loan system that Farming Simulator has. But I do like the enhanced loan system mod. And that's what I tend to use. That bucket's going to need to be moved. I can probably wiggle it out of the way with the front tires. So, need the mini-map for this. I've done playthroughs without using loans. Oh, I'm going to have to save and restart because the minimap is not going to show me where the field is. Save it twice for good luck. Quit the menu. Yeah, I don't want to update any of those mods. I don't know if I'll have an ATS video out tomorrow. Car Dealer Simulator had an update, and I'm probably going to make a video on that for tomorrow. I also got to record the 2 episodes for Shamburgo for the week. And also this upcoming week, I know next Friday I won't be streaming. And also next week, gonna be streaming quite a bit of Eric's Home. Yeah, it's the only thing about if I did the live stream series with no loans, I always like to start with nothing. So if I don't do any loans, that means I'm going to be doing a lot of contract work, which a lot of people don't really like watching. And if I do it in a recorded series, that means a lot of contract work off camera. So, part of me does, a lot of people don't like watching contract work because they say, well, it's not farming. I'm like, well, you're farming. It's just not on your own property, but, you know, that's their opinion, so. There, now I can see the fields, or the field that we created. So this is a modded soil sampler, so I got the one that's double the base game size, so it's not going to take me as many samples. And hopefully we got some good soil here. Yeah, it should be a Saloon Simulator on Monday. And I think we'll be wrapping up that game, and then maybe Tuesday through Thursday will be Eric's Home. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea kind of a game. Eric's Home is going to be somewhat similar to a Plague Tale, so if you see me play that on here, it's somewhat similar to that. It's kind of a stealthy kind of a game. Storyline driven kind of a thing. Okay, one more sample. Hello, Big JB. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Kind of forgot what day it was here. All right, send those samples in. No silty clay. No silty clay. still waiting for the results, or... still waiting for the results. Still waiting for the results. I did send them in, right? Yeah, there's nothing to send in. Ah, there we go. Man, silty clay. That's like 30% of my field is silty clay. Which is like the worst. It does need lime, surprise, surprise. But I would say not too bad. Oh, that's right. I'm like, why is fly mode not working? Because you exited and came back in. So today, not too bad. We started off at negative 60,000. That's right, negative 60,000 in the bank account. But we currently sit at 31,000. We bought this plot of land for like 200K today. We got the field plowed and soil sampled. Meanwhile, we got this field limed up. Same with this field. If you look at this field here, this was a cornfield because we're in November when we started the stream today. So we harvested the corn, put lime in it, plowed it on up. That's good to go. And of course, we got ourselves, finally we're starting to work on the real farmyard. This was just the starter area, if you will. So we got our first shed down. I mean, I don't need that many sheds in here. I usually find 3 sheds for me is more than enough because I don't end up having like 6, 7 tractors. I usually have maybe like 3, 4 tractors at most. But yeah, we'll get some tractors in here. Maybe in the future. Branding, we'll get excited. Maybe in the future we'll have some beef cattle here. Maybe we'll look into possibly running the butcher mod on this one. Also don't want to forget, even though we've been over here just very briefly, but our oak trees that we planted exactly a year ago, they have reached the first growth stage a while ago. And we need about another year and a couple months before they're at full height. Again, is it 150 for this sawmill? Yeah, it's 150. So what I'm hoping is when I drag it in here, as long as I get the trunk of the tree in the trigger, I know all the branches are going to be sticking up, but if I get enough of the trunk of the tree in here, I think it'll accept it. And yeah, we're just going to go with this sawmill here. Because the spawn points, we got plenty of spawn points. It's on the map. No need to put down another one. Which butcher mod? Is it JT's butcher mod? I forget. Is it JT's butcher mod? The only one I've found. Of course, it's not on the mod hub. Surprise, surprise, because of what it does. But that's what it kind of looks like. Does it have their name on the outside? I thought it did. Whoops. Where did it go? So you can see on the far right-hand side for the butchery, the animals also have to be a certain age. They can't be too young, they can't be too old. I think the YouTuber I saw, when I saw it being posted, was JT, but I'm not sure if that's correct. Where's the horses? How they doing? The horses are doing fabulous with the mod that increases the value of the horses. But we do have 16 horses, and if we go into here, they are currently worth 14.7. Their price is going up, and we got about another month before they have offspring. Now, what I might do is sell one horse, because I got to have an open spot, and I'll see if the other horses start having their offspring. I don't know if they have... I don't know if they can have the offspring the second a spot is open, or does the offspring happen at midnight? So that's what I got to find out. That looks like the one recommended for Judith Plains. It loses money. Well, I really haven't had that hard of a look at it. But, I mean, we can try it here and see what happens. Well, I say here. It may either happen here or Schiambergo, but I'm a long ways from being able to do that. We are a long ways from being able to do that. Wait, as for our loan... loan here. So the enhanced loan system, I took out a $3 million loan for 10 years, 240 months. So this loan system will pay back interest and on the principal. So even though I haven't done anything with the loan, I haven't gone in and saying paying back a certain amount, I've actually paid back almost $300,000 on the loan. It's not going to take me 10 years to pay off the loan entirely, but it kept the monthly payment down to a reasonable amount. And eventually at some point, I will throw some money at it, and we'll get the loan paid off rather quickly. I'm only paying 3.5% interest on it, so not bad at all. Not bad at all. I wouldn't say I'm a pro farming simulator gamer. Been playing for 10 years. And with mods and the way Giants change things as often, sometimes when you get comfortable in playing a game, you get used to the way it's playing and you don't realize things have changed in files and such. So, yeah. I mean, I like to think I know what I'm doing in Farming Simulator, but things do change. You had to approximately 4 times the output just for it to make more than the value of the animal. Well, thanks for the heads up there, Farmer G, because that's so basically kind of the same thing I had to do for the fish farm or the fish production on Dark Forest. I had to pretty much, I think I doubled the value, either doubled or tripled the value of what the fish sold for, and I think I also tripled the outputs on that fish farm in order for it to make money even worth having to do it. See, I think our farm here is coming along decently. The first couple years were slow-ish. But I finally put down a third greenhouse for lettuce, and that's letting us progress a little bit more. But now that we got another field, we should be able to earn more money yearly. And yeah, it looks like we'll be selling some horses within the next month or two. Somewhere around there. But that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. I got to head out because I got to do something at the top of the hour. Like I said, tomorrow I do plan on having a car dealer simulator video out because they had an update. Plus, I'm also reaching reputation level number 10. So I'm going to show off the buildings that you can unlock once you reach reputation level number 9, which I did not buy yet. And also level number 10, and also show off the salvage yard. Monday, there should be an episode of Schiambergo, which I got to record later on tonight or tomorrow. I do plan on streaming currently right now Saloon Simulator on Monday. Should be wrapping that up from what I got told. I don't have much more to do there, I've been told. Tuesday, be streaming Eric's Home. That game does get released on that day. I don't know what time it gets released, so hopefully it's released before I usually start my stream, but I'll have more information on that on Monday when I stream. And yeah, for those who like Transport Fever 2, I released my first episode on that yesterday as well. If I happen to feel rather lively tonight and I got some time, I may record an episode of ATS for tomorrow, but I don't know at this point. You'll know tomorrow, just like I probably will. But anyways, I'm going to jump out of here. Like I said, I got something to do at the top of the hour. And then later on tonight, after it cools down in my room, because right now it's 97 degrees in my room, I'll get back to recording some stuff so you guys got some stuff to watch next week. Because next week I may miss a couple days of streaming next week. I know, like next Friday I won't be streaming. I know that, and I may have to take Thursday off as well. I don't know. One day at a time I'm trying to do. But anyways, appreciate everyone being here. Hope you enjoyed some farming today on New Hope. This is the map New Hope, by the way. It is on the Mod Hub. It's available for all platforms. Has some additional crops that you can plant on here, and it's kind of a build your farm map if you like that kind of style. But again, appreciate everyone being here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday. But until then, have a good one.